On to your forecast with meteorologist Brittany Van Voorhees. Brittany had to have the coat tonight for trick-or-treating. I know coats kind of ruined the costume, so I understand it if you didn't want to have the coat. But it was wise to have the coat.
I feel like I'm not a parent yet, but I have nieces and nephews, and so it's like the battle with kids like on Halloween to have to add like leggings or a jacket seems terrible, but yeah. I guess when you're an adult, you can make your own decisions.
Don't trust me. I'm the same uncle that let my nephew eat like 4 Pop-Tarts. It's a long story. We'll get to the forecast.
Well, my sister has never allowed me to give Will 4 Pop-Tarts and probably would be really upset, but you know, you win some, you lose some. I do think that, Nick, as you are a big runner, we talk about this all the time. I think tomorrow morning as you're getting out early to go on a run, if you do plan to do so, it's going to be more heavy coat kind of weather. In fact, we're already at 45 degrees, which is close to some of our lowest temperatures we've seen this season. Tonight will be the night that for the first time since April, the Charlotte area drops into the upper 30s. Now, I don't think we're going to see a widespread risk of frost, but essentially with the exception of the Charlotte metro, if you're in Burke County, Caldwell County, all the way down south toward the Sandhills, you have a chance to see some patchy frost tonight. In fact, we're already seeing a few spots, including Lincolnton and Morganton, already dropping with temperatures below 37. Now, what you need in order for frost to form is essentially a temp at or below 37 degrees. You also need light winds because you want the cool and moist air to stay closer to the ground versus being mixed in with the air around it. And you also need to see these kind of conditions, right? These chillier temperatures. And so you need those numbers, you need the light wind in order for that cool air to settle closer to the ground. Now, unfortunately for the mountains, or fortunately, I guess, however you want to look at it, they're dealing with some gusty winds tonight, which means they probably won't see frost, but they are seeing some wind chills already developing across the region, probably feeling about 5 degrees colder than the temperature on the thermometer. And that is going to continue overnight. In fact, many of those spots will be feeling like the upper 20s heading into tomorrow morning. Now, earlier today in Charlotte, we were seeing wind gusts around 20 or so miles an hour. Notice that's now lowering to a very, very light wind. So again, this is enough light wind to see frost formation. I just think a lot of the Charlotte metro, so within the 485 loop, will probably be a little bit too warm, and it could be 1 or 2 degrees. But remember that 1 to 2 degrees does matter to see widespread frost. But there is still a chance. So if you're a gardener, or you are in the agriculture industry, I would likely do it just in case. But trust me, we'll have plenty more nights if this is not the night that we see frost, because it's just that time of the year. Today is October 31st. It's Halloween, which means November 1st officially starts tomorrow. And it's pretty setting, I guess, or fitting that is, that the first morning of November is the coldest we've seen since April. Next change that we have is increasing clouds by the second half of Sunday and bringing in a small chance of rain, mainly east of the I-77 corridor. This will continue Sunday night and into Monday morning. Even though technically today's Halloween, it's still Hallow weekend, and so we will rebound from the 30s tomorrow to the mid-60s once again. So Saturday will feel very similar to where we were today with those increasing clouds by Sunday. And of course, this weekend is a big one too, because daylight saving time ends, so we're turning our clocks back Saturday night before we go to bed. Good reminder to test those smoke alarms, check the fire extinguisher expiration dates. Yes, you do get an extra hour of sleep, folks, but remember, you're not losing an hour of daylight. It's just shifting an hour earlier, both sunrises and sunsets. The actual daylight loss happens every single day because of the Earth's rotation around the sun and, of course, our axis tilt. Warmer over the next few days, as we are going to eventually rebound back into the 70s by the middle part of next week. Notice in your Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast, you can see those big changes this time in November.